Okay, just going to take you guys on a very quick but interesting detour. After my game against the Dwarves ended so early, like it wrapped up in the space of like an hour at the most, probably more like 45 minutes, I had heaps of time to go around and take photos of some of the other games in the tournament, so pay careful attention. This game that you're looking at right now is High Elves versus Tomb Kings, and this is pretty much the game between the two guys that were actually leading the field in the tournament. The Tomb Kings player that you're seeing in this photo right now had lost 0 games. In fact, he'd had 6 consecutive victories, and this is his 7th game. And the High Elves player had got 5 victories and 1 loss. So the winner of this game was pretty much going to take the lead and probably win the tournament overall. And ironically, both of these guys are brothers. These guys actually play at home against each other all the time, and they ended up facing each other in the tournament, like right at the top of the field. And, their dad's in the tournament as well, so this is just crazy. The High Elf guy's got a Star Dragon here, and he's got 9 Dragon Princes and a BSB. And the Tomb King's guy's got a unit with a Zinj-looking guy in it, who's actually representing a Tomb King with this is actually a 20-strong unit of Tomb Guard with the icon of Rakaf with Eagle next to it. And as you can see here, the skeletal horsemen are sort of like diverting the charge there from the Dragon Princes, so that's looking pretty good. And over in the far side of the field, the princes look like they're going to mop up some Dragon Princes or something like that. But I'm just going to show you a few photos of some of the games that were happening during my Game 7, because I was able to finish my thing so quickly. So just a bit of an overview. Next photo is just another photo from this game that we're currently looking at. He's got his tomb prince on the hill with some chariots in tow, and it looks like they're chasing away some swordmasters there. There are some archers in combat with their skeletal archers and the Lich Priest, but doesn't look like those archers are going to last for very long. Yeah, next photo, I'm going to take you to a different game where my buddy Josh Warren is playing against a guy called Alistair Dennison, who has Demons of Chaos, mainly Tzeentch stuff, and as you can see here, the Wyvern General, the war boss, is in combat with the horrors or whatever, maybe demonettes. I'm not really sure. But this turned out to be a massacre for Josh. Well, sorry, Josh was the one who got massacred by the demons, unfortunately. And it looks like he had a very tough game here. We were talking about it on the car ride down to the venue. And he had a plan and everything, but it sounds like it didn't really go according to plan. Josh actually did way better in the tournament than any of us expected. He did really well, but he didn't do particularly well in this particular game, unfortunately. As you can see, his Wyvern Lord looks awesome, and he's got that going for him, but the demons managed to come out better off in this particular game. Next photo, I just wanted to show you a picture of the Chaos Dwarves. This is further down the field against my buddy Dean Webb. And the Chaos Dwarves looking very sturdy there with 2 lines of blunderbusses seeing off the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. And it looks like the Hobgoblins are on the flank of the Orc warriors who look like they've captured a standard, but the Dwarf Lord on the Bull Taurus is in their rear, so it doesn't look like it's going well for our buddy for Dean. But the Chaos Dwarf army is looking very cool. Next photo, we've actually got a picture of Dave Stent's army against, I think this was, I can't remember the guy's name, but this is one of the dwarf armies that had the Stroller's rune that allows him to get a free move at the start of the game. And Dave looks like he's in a bit of a bad way here in combat with the dwarves, with not too much support here, no knights. And the dwarves are a bit sturdier in close combat than Empire are, especially when it's just spearmen and flagellants and so forth. So I think Dave didn't quite manage to take this one out, but Dave did extremely well in the tournament, so kudos to him for achieving that. But this photo really sums up how his game against the Dwarves went. Next photo, very interesting game between 2 very other high contenders in the tournament. Treeman Ancient guy with the Alrena with Wood Elves against Darren Urquhart with the awesome Cauldron of Blood here, Dark Elves versus Wood Elves. And I think this was a very closely contested game. I'm not really sure who won this, but try and figure it out for yourselves. Treeman's in combat with Blackguard by the looks, who are slowly whittling them down, but looks like the Treeman's probably going to get the better of them. Plenty of Dryads out in the field, but there's a strong line of archers and Dark Elf cavalry, sorry, not cavalry, ranged repeaters there. Looks like Dryads coming on the flank from the Cauldron of Blood, but it could be anybody's game by the looks of it. They've got a Hydra still alive on the left-hand side field, so that's doing well. There's Tregan homing in on them too. So, yeah, really not sure how that game turned out, but it looks like it was a good one. So let's get back to the main event. Now, this was probably the highlight of the tournament in terms of high drama. We're talking about number 1 player versus number 2 player, locked in contest for the victory of the tournament. And the Star Dragon is in combat with the unit of skeletal archers, having killed the Lich. And the Prince manages to finally magic move himself around to the side, thanks to the Hierophant moving in. He's just to the south of where the photo's taken. He's not actually in the picture. And oh man, this was heartbreaking. The Prince comes around from the side. Impact hits up the arse of the dragon, like absolutely murdering it. And dragon fluffs its rolls for defense. Armor saves fail. And the Prince rolls his break check, fails it, loses the whole dragon. We're talking about 700 victory points worth of stuff, including like the 100 for the general. The dragon's worth over 600 points with the Prince on it. And this turned into a victory for the Tomb Kings, but the Tomb Kings player was actually losing up until this happened. And it was absolutely insane that he managed to pull that off. I just can't believe it. And, wow, you had to be there. Everybody was standing around this game just looking at what was going on. It was just like jaws dropping in disbelief when the Prince finally fluffed it and got killed there. But, man, Star Dragon taken out in the last turn of the game, sealing up the tournament, and this Tomb Kings player actually did win number 1 by a long shot. So, victory for the Tomb Kings. Even if I didn't manage to win the tournament, this guy managed to take it out on my behalf. I like to think that way anyway. Well, he took it out on behalf of the Tomb Kings, not on my behalf. And really glad that he did that. And he's a great guy in person. Both of them are. Both of the Dixon guys are. And their dad's really cool as well. So I hope you enjoyed that brief interlude. We'll be going on to the conclusion of the tournament with my Game 6 very shortly, and see you guys there.